Welcome, well, family, to another episode of Artist Fireside Chat. I'm your host, HeatherHrz, and I'm here with the super talented, new to NFTs, super dope singer, video artist, and multimedia company owning badass, Chinola.
Hi.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Introduction.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. I'm really excited to get to know you because I've been watching your videos and you just seem super cool and like you have funny videos, you have serious videos, and like this range of music, and all of it sounds super dope. So I'm really excited to
Thank you so much.
talk to you. Yeah. So I guess my first question is, how were you first indoctrinated into the crypto art space, and what has it been like for you being new in this space?
So Coco Mamba, which you had on Whale like a month ago or so, she texted me one day and was like, "Oh my God, you should put your art on Zora, and you should learn about NFTs." And I was like, I had no idea what she was talking about. And she gave me like a quick introduction in a matter of like a day or so. So there's so much that's still left to learn. But in that moment, after that I uploaded this the Passion Girl video, which is on the screen right now, which is some footage that we shot in New York like 2 years ago that I never used. She's like, use that, and it's been a really interesting experience. I'm really grateful to her for putting me onto the space. I haven't sold my first NFT, but it was really interesting. I feel like I've learned so much, and I feel so connected to people in a different way that I didn't have before, like especially on Twitter. Before I barely used Twitter. And now I use it all the time. I'm always looking at people's art, always talking to people, trying to get myself educated. And what I've loved the most is just the immense amount of support. I come from Dominican Republic, where I've done most of my art in the past 3 or 4 years. So the community there is not very supportive. It's very similar to the community, I would say, like in New York here, where it's very competitive, especially in music. So it's very competitive, and it's very hard to find like that close knit people that really will connect you and put you out there, you know. So it's been really cool to see the opposite of that online with the crypto community, and especially within women and women of color. Wow, it's been to see so many women and women of color making art, making money off their art, and just creating that community. It's really a dream come true. That's been the best part.
Yeah, that's the most beautiful thing about this place, this metaverse. And there's like universes within universes, and that people are able to build grassroots communities, and women of color especially now have this new platform that the playing field, I think, is a little bit more leveled, at least for now. But I think that because of the community, that's going to continue to keep things, I feel like just keep things honest, keep things more fair. Just the way that blockchain technology works, it's people can't really hide, and everything's there, logged forever. So I don't know, it's something about that too, just inherently makes it so that, you know, people just have to be real, and the authentic connections are just the most important thing, I think, especially for new artists. You know, like once you find the right people, it just kind of all falls into place, you know.
Yes. And what you were saying about not hiding, I heard on a podcast, I forgot who said it. They said with NFTs, you can't pretend that you were into this group or this artist 10 years ago when they finally get famous, because the blockchain will show who you supported and who really bought the art for the original pieces for the artists. And that really resonated with me, because I was like, wow, that's so true. Because there is a lot of, when you get on as an artist or you get fame, people act like they've always been supporting you and blah, 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 you know? So with this, it's like, you really see and
can't hide it all.
Exactly. I love that because, yeah, like, for me, my art and in general, like authenticity, even my name, like it just authenticity and realness, I think is the most important thing that we can all bring, and the most important element that any artist period can bring to a space. So I just wanted to say that that's another favorite thing about NFTs. It's just such an incredible artistic revolution that's happening.
Yeah, and I feel like in the traditional world, there's like this pressure to kind of pick one style and like align to something that's kind of already recognizable to be seen. And in this space, like you being exactly who you are and letting yourself shine and like not trying to be like somebody else, I think is what really gives a lot of artists more value. And yeah, like it's interesting. Like I've been in the space for a little while, but like coming from having gone to art school and stuff like that, and just the pressure of doing things one way there, and it just seems like things are so much more free here too.
Yes.
That it's valued that you're different, that it's valued that you don't do the same thing every time you create. Yeah, it's a really cool place. So can you tell us a little bit about your background and like how you got into video production and yeah, all of that stuff? Like, did you go to school? Are you self-trained?
So my aunt works in the news. And so since I was little, I saw her work with like Univision and things like that. And I was always
so cool.
Yeah, I was inspired to do that. I always knew I wanted to be a singer, but I always liked news. And I went to a special high school for TV production. I was interning in Dominican Republic at live TV shows at 15. And so I was always into the production side of it. And then in college, I went to school for music. I went to Columbia College in Chicago. And I decided to switch halfway because I was very afraid that I was not going to make it as an artist financially. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do journalism. And that's when I really started making my own stuff. And I would always make videos and do stories about Latin culture. There's a really strong Mexican culture in Chicago. And I kind of went after, inspired by my aunt and her involvement with journalism and the Latino community. I always tried to find out those stories and discover those small businesses, especially women. So that's where I started. And then in the past 3 years, Coco Mamba has really helped me with my editing, and she's been a huge inspiration to help me become a better editor. She's been throwing me jobs, and I've been growing in that area. And then my husband, who's also my partner in Juice Lab Media, he has been doing videos for a long time. So he's been showing me how to make better videos. He's been a really huge part about creating and trying new things, like with green screen and things like that. So I was able to take all of that that I have, and all of my love for art and music and drag, for example. Like I'm obsessed with drag. So all of that.
I love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes, one of many. Yes. So all of that has been cool to express all these things that I want to do and that I love, which is, like I said, authenticity, respecting others for who they are, expressing yourself in all types of ways that, like we were saying before, that are not defined by a label like gender or culture and things like that. So yeah, that's the little summary of my video background.
Oh my gosh. And now I have like more questions after hearing that, and I don't know which one I want to ask first. Because that's so cool that you were interning like at news stations at 15 years old. And that made me remember that your song Talkin' Like You Should was featured on Telemundo,
Yeah.
Which I can share a link to that in the chat. So what was that like for you being featured on national TV?
It was local. It was in DC, but it was still amazing.
That's still kill a window. Like that's a big
Yeah.
deal.
It was amazing. I used to work for that show. And I worked for that show for like 2 years doing as a journalist and as a producer. I was like one of the, I guess I would do a lot of things. I would write the scripts, I would direct, and I really got a lot of my experience from working on that show. So when I came back from Dominican Republic because of the quarantine, I reached out and they were so supportive right away. They also interviewed my partner Ellie Works. Like it was really amazing. And I don't know, I just felt I was very grateful to have that given back to me. A lot of the people in the community were like, "Oh, you're a singer now?" And I'm like, "I've been singing. What are you guys talking about?" But it was very validating.
That's so awesome. Do you mind if I play like a couple, like 30?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Mi amor, tú me amas.
I love it.
Oye. Chinola.
Was this the? Hold on. You have an actual video too, right? Hold on.
Can you tell me real good? You talking like shit. You talking like shit. You talking. Mi amor, yo sé que tú no hablas.
Oh, I meant to lower it and not do like a harsh stop, but yeah, that's just one track. It's amazing. And yeah, you have like a wide range of videos. I actually really love your Cuarentena tapes. And I thought it would be cool to show one of those because it's less than 2 minutes and it's really funny and really well made. And like, you just take us on like a whole journey in less than 2 minutes. It's so cool. Hold on, I'm gonna put that one on and I'll share it in, hold on. Where's the quarantine tapes? Did I lose it?
If you go down, oh, it's the first one.
Boop. All right, it's here. Yeah, that's right. Because it starts off like a regular video and you're like, oh, wait, okay. I don't want to spoil it for everyone. I'm going to get it going.
Hello? Answer the phone. ¿Dónde que tú estás? Are you alone? Who's that in the background, buen mari? ¿Cómo que yo estoy loca? Hello? Call your mama, call your sister, call your brother and your friend, call your last 3 exes, send them 5 dead DMs, let them know I'm about to fight, coming in, I'm busting heads, you the first one on my list, cutting them, coming in. Yo no me quedo en mi casa, yo no me quedo atrás, bati chica, dame luz, tira la party señal. Yo no me quedo en mi casa, yo no me quedo atrás, bati chica, dame luz, tira la party señal. Bati chica, dame luz, tira la party señal. Bati chica, dame luz, tira la party señal. Bati chica, bati chica, bati chica, bati chica, bati chica, dame luz, tira la party señal. Tira la party señal. Bati chica, dame luz, tira la party señal. Tira la party señal.
Ve, tuve un sueño rarísimo. Se acabó el mundo, yo no te encontraba, me quillé pila.
Bueno,
De repente hice un dembow.
duro, pero Alita sé que tiene clase de ópera.
I love that so much. Do you want to give like a brief translation for the folks that don't speak Spanish of what was happening? But I think you could put the video, but
Oh, I'm so happy you liked it. I haven't seen it in a minute, so yeah, I had so much fun making this. This video is the 3rd video in a series of different quarantine tapes, basically, where I'm talking about having a long distance relationship. Me and my husband were apart. So we did like we did the first video while he was in Dominican Republic, then he came here. And so the last video is like a fever dream where I'm looking for my partner. Like in the second video, I'm saying, I can go out, don't bother me. I'm a free woman. And then in the third video, I'm like, wait, but you're gonna go out? And so like in the dream, I'm like looking for him at a party, and the party is supposed to represent a party de marquesina, which are these parties that would happen in Dominican Republic and in the Caribbean, like in the early 2000s, where they would have like after school, they would have a whole dance party in the driveway, like where you park your car. And everybody would be smoking, dancing, drinking, whatever. And they would play reggaeton music and playeros, even though playeros are from like the 90s. So the music is from that era, and the video is supposed to represent those parties and the kind of people you would see at the parties. And so at the end of the video, I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I made a dembow, like, because I'm not known for making that kind of music. And yeah, so it's like I wake up from this terrible dream where we were in quarantine, but it did happen.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. It's such a great story, and I love how they flow together. We actually have one sort of related question from the chat. They were wondering if you write your own lyrics.
Yes, I do. I write my own lyrics, and I usually write all the melodies for my song. I just started producing. I did Andrew Wong's monthly class, which I recommend to anyone who wants to start producing because it was so helpful. And the NFT, I was telling you that I was trying to post an NFT today, and I got it posted right now. So the NFT that I just posted is my first self-produced song. So I'm very excited to put it out there because it's a cover, but I made the beat and all of that stuff. So, you found it!
Hot, fresh off the presses, everybody.
During the interview.
You want to be the first. It's super dope. I watched it before. I'm going to play it while we're here. Hold on. Wait. Let's, is it going to let me start over? Boo. No. You said it was on your YouTube, right?
Yes.
All right, so it'll play from there. Videos. Thanks for holding. Most recent. Oh, it's not there. All right, we're gonna do it from here. I love the beat. It's so dope.
Oh, thank you. I can't believe it's online.
Yes, fresh off the presses. If you want to be the first, you would be making history, blockchain history, being Chinola's first NFT buyer. Yeah, it's dope. The music is great. The video is great.
And it's very Dominican because I posted it late, right during the interview.
Actually, speaking of Dominican related questions, we had a question. Who do you want to see in the next RPDR All-Stars?
Oh my gosh. What a question. I'm so honored somebody asked me this. So who do I want to see in the next? I want to see Rosé. I want to see, I want them to bring back Roxy Andrews again because I just love Roxy Andrews. I want them to bring back Alyssa Edwards. I know she's already really famous, but I just love seeing her on RuPaul's Drag Race. So those would be, I guess, let me think. And I want to see Monique Hart. All these girls have been on All Stars, but I just really love them. I want to see Monique Hart. They're gonna put Candy Muse on an All Stars as well. That was really cool to see a Dominican queen. And when she pulled out the flag at the end of the finale, I've been using that GIF for every reaction, like anything. I'm like, look, yes, this is us. This is our community. So yeah, I guess that would be something I would want to see. I keep having these dreams where I am trying to get on Drag Race and they won't let me.
Yeah, it's not fair.
It's not fair.
No, you should be allowed. Like, drag is about expressing yourself, and why should it just be limited to men in drag? That's silly.
I know.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, we'll see. They finally had an openly trans man on the show, and they did amazing. So hopefully we'll see some girls on there soon.
Yes.
Before I'm 50 or 60 and I can't even dance.
Oh, no.
Anyways, but whatever.
Oh, I'm sure I hope you don't have to wait till you're 60, but I'm sure you can fly either way at any age. And then you'd be breaking boundaries for, advanced age people who, want to be in drag. It shouldn't matter. Someone in chat said doing Dembo at 60. Yes, definitely. Oh, we just lost you for a second. Sorry.
Yeah. I got a scam likely call.
How dare they be so rude and interrupt?
I know. So insurance. I already have.
So what are your biggest creative inspirations and influences? We got like a little taste in the last 3 videos that you've shared. But I'm curious, like what prompted the creation of your most recent NFT too? Because that's very different than what we've seen so far today.
My biggest inspirations, period, in everything that I do are women, and I guess especially Latino women and my Dominican background. I've always felt so connected to my heritage, even though I grew up most of my life in the United States. I was always going back and forth to Dominican Republic. I hold my Dominican heritage above. I feel so lucky to be born into a family that is Dominican, and to be part of a culture that's so rich. Seriously, like I could talk about it forever. When I hear like a really good merengue or old songs, I get goosebumps. When I hear a song, like a really amazing song from a Dominican group, I cry. Like this is I'm very passionate about the culture because we've been able to create, and especially in music, we've been able to create and spread our music on a global platform, and we're a small little island. So that to me, and every time that to me is like such a great thing, and to be part of a culture that's so sabrosa and exciting and funny and original. I'm really inspired by that. And then women in general, I grew up with women always around me. My mom and all her friends were like models and were just so gorgeous. And I was just always around so many beautiful and talented women. My mom has worked in Mary Kay for like 20 years, leading women and helping them build their own businesses. So I just always had that example of strong women, of independent women, of business, women in business, women who have made projects out of nowhere. I was talking about my aunt earlier. So when, I identify as a intersectional feminist. Feminist issues are extremely important to me. Women's rights are extremely important to me. We are the oldest group to be discriminated. We've been told that we are supposed to be submissive for hundreds of years. There's so many lies that we believe about ourselves and that are damaging to not just us as women, but as men and other people of gender expressions, of all gender expressions, because gender itself is such a construct that is limiting people from being themselves, from exploring the beauty that is both feminine and masculine energy and everything in between. So when I see things right now in Dominican Republic, abortion is completely criminalized. Women are not allowed to get abortions, even in cases if their life is at risk, or if they were raped, or if there is an incest, or if the baby is not going to be born with life. So most women with opportunity and privilege are able to leave Dominican Republic and go to the United States or another country where they have the privilege to have the abortion. But there are tons of girls that don't have that privilege. There are tons of, especially young girls, who don't have the option and are either forced to carry out the pregnancy and put their lives at risk, or put their lives at risk getting an abortion in a back alley or somewhere that is unsafe. And I feel like this issue is so tired and old. I can't believe that we're still dealing with it, not just in the 3 areas that women right now are fighting for and protesting right now, but in general, that we are not allowed to have control over our own bodies, that the government is so personally involved. And with the amount of violence and rape that happens in Dominican Republic with women, it's really terrible that on top of the fact that there's such a pervasive culture of violence against women in Dominican Republic, we don't even have the right to go and make a choice about our own bodies if we don't want to stay in that society. There's also no support financially from the government. So it's like, it's really a system that is designed to keep these girls in situations where they are not able to empower themselves, and where they keep continuing these generational curses of violence and really of poverty. So this video is my purpose for this video. I collaborated on it with my husband, Ellie Works. He animated and illustrated it. He did this I did this cover for Women's Month. And then he did this amazing illustration talking about what was going on in Dominican Republic. And so I was like, let's do a video. Let's do this cover and let's do this video as an animation. Let's put it out there. Let's get more people involved from other countries in the Dominican community. I want people to understand why women are protesting. I want people to understand why this is a problem. And so yeah, that's where it came from. A very long story.
Wow,
but yes.
It's such an important story, and I can people were just saying in the chat, and I can hear it too, the emotion in your voice and passion in your voice as you're talking about this, and it's so beautiful that you made this video with your husband too, and it's something that is sharing such an important message with the world, and yeah, I'm really excited to see. I love that you use your voice and your platform for spreading love and messages of strength for women and for the Dominican community, for the Latino community. It's so important to have people using their art for this purpose, sometimes. And it's like really hard to create things that are both so beautiful and deep at the same time, that express something so important. So yeah, just kudos to you. This is like really, it's both like, I don't want to say like, oh, it's functional, but like it's functional and beautiful at the same time. It's like I don't want to say, it's like a positive propaganda video.
Thank you. And thank you so much. That's, I'm happy we talked about the tapes because I love them and they were fun. But I felt like it was it was very far away from what I really wanted to do, which is this kind of stuff, which is promote Dominican rhythms, promote women. I think I think everybody makes their art for their own purpose, and I don't knock anyone that makes art just for fun. I mean, I love it.
No, me neither. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's space for all of it, but I just think that it's really hard to do. I don't know. I think it's also hard to have fun too, because we're all trying to like, there's all these like voices of like, no, you got to do it this way. But I'm just saying like, there's this like other challenge of like being able to so clearly express something that you want to express that's important to you. Like for me, sometimes I like try to get it on paper and I'm like, no, it's not doing it. Like what I'm feeling inside is not matching. And to me, this looks like you achieved that. So just want to make it clear, I'm definitely not knocking art for the sake of fun, because that's the whole point, is to have fun and express yourself, for sure.
Yeah, and even that is revolutionary when you're talking about women. Like, look at the controversy that rapper Saweetie causes because she talks about being pretty and she's not necessarily the best rapper, you know. But we have so many other male rappers that are on her level, let's say talent-wise, and are just having fun. So it's like,
and no one ever says anything about that.
It's crazy because being a woman or just having a different gender expression as well, just you having a good time and expressing yourself or being sexual, you know, that's a big deal. That's revolutionary.
It is.
And it's wonderful. And at the same time, it's kind of weird, but
I actually have a question from the chat from Rob PT45. I guess they know you because they said, I'm always looking for advice on how I can best help my daughter as she navigates this largely patriarchal system. I would love to hear Chinola's thoughts, especially since she's expecting, which congratulations.
Thank you. I just found out I'm having a daughter like 2 days ago.
Yeah, oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, it was well, Rob, if you find out, let me know.
It's like, I don't know. I'm figuring it out.
Well, I remember there's this scene from the Rugrats where the mom, I forgot her name is Charlotte, I think. She says, Angelica must breathe, eat, and sweat self-esteem if she's going to live in this society. You know, I've never forgotten that because
I totally remember that.
Yeah, I think that's really the most important part. I think as humans in just period, we are taught to question ourselves so much, and it's so easy to let other people's energy affect us, especially when you're around so many people that are insecure. It's like, it's very easy to think that that's how you're supposed to be, to not be confident, to not express, to even say out loud the things that you want, to be open about your dreams. Like, all of that is so taboo. And I think the most important thing is to teach the children in general that who they are is not anything to be ashamed of. Who you really want to be, what you're passionate about is not anything to be ashamed of. And to be proud of that, to understand that people are not going to agree with you. And that's fine. To not worry about being well-liked. My mom always says it's not about being perfect, it's about being brave. And I think,
wow.
Yeah, I think being brave is being yourself authentically 100% what you want to be and what you want to do. So that would be my advice, and to stay off Instagram for a little bit.
Yes. Prolong the space between not being able to use a cell phone or social media as long as possible. Let them be.
The filter, yes.
Yeah, do not let them use photo filters. Put eyelashes on them or whatever.
Girl, I was taking a picture the other day and then I put the filter on and I looked so pretty. I was like, forget it, I'm over it.
Oh my gosh, you're absolutely gorgeous. Like, you are a filter. Like, there should be a filter based on your face. I'm not just saying that.
Oh, you're too much. Let's do it.
Yeah, now maybe we can get your husband does all the visual stuff. Maybe he can create some kind of filter based on your face.
Oh, you know, this was his first long form animation. I'm so proud because we're really planning on getting him to do his own NFTs.
Let me show it again. Yeah, he should. This is dope. He worked on this for like a week, and this was the first the first animations he did that were longer than, I guess, 5 seconds. So he made all these vectors and animated all this, and we edited it together, and it's amazing. So I hope, I'm sure he can get into filters too. I am in awe that he was able to bring this to life. Yeah, and of course, when he gets started, we'd love to have him on Artist Fireside Chat too, and check out his work. Yes, that would be great. I definitely will let him know. His accent is so cute. Awesome. Let's see. There's another. We have a couple of questions, and I don't want to forget to ask them. Someone asked. It's similar to a question I had for you, which is, which work of art do you consider helped you stepped out of your comfort zone? And I had a similar question, like, what was the most challenging piece for you? And what did you learn from it?
This piece was really challenging for me. I had this cover done since December. And I made a video for it. I made like 2 different videos for it. We recorded some stuff for it. And I was really unhappy with what it sounded like because I produced it. I was unhappy with how the video turned out. And I was really scared to put this out, honestly, because even though I'm very passionate about my views, there are many people that will see this as negative propaganda, that will think very negative things about me. People in my family, even other women that I admire, unfortunately. So I think a lot of it, to step into that power and to be the person that I know that I'm meant to be, the person that uses my art to promote this, the right women's rights, was really scary. I'm still scared. But now that it's done, I don't know. I'm very proud and I feel very, very realized. Like, no matter what people can say, I know this is what I believe in. This is always what I've believed in. And yeah, and being able to make the music for it as well was a process. I worked really long on this 50-second song. But now that it's done, it's like when you bite the bullet, you know, you realize it wasn't as big of a deal as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Like,
so yeah.
Yeah. It's like when you finally like let out a secret that you've been holding for so long, you realize it feels so much better to actually express it than to hold it and worry about what people are going to think. So I feel really honored on behalf of the whale community. We're honored that you minted this while we were talking, and like now you have all this support here while you're releasing something that is really a big deal and scary to let people know around you, especially knowing that you have some family and friends that might feel a lot differently than you do about it. It's really important to talk about these things, despite the fact that some people we love might have a problem with it.
Yeah, and it feels, I just want to thank you guys, because it feels amazing. It feels, I don't know if I may, like, everybody knows how anxiety feels, and when you release something, like, are people looking at it? I mean, what do they think? Like, and to do it here right now and to have people watching it, it just feels so good. To be talking to you about it feels so good, and it's an experience that I wouldn't take back. It's very, very unique. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that you had some issues getting it uploaded earlier, because now it happened now, and I feel like everything happens in divine timing for sure.
Ooh, exactly. It's true. I am 100% of that belief. My mom is a very, I call her hippie because there's no other words to describe. But she raised me with the law of attraction, with auras, she would take me out of school to do yoga. Like, she was very, that's a huge influence too. Just her way of being. And I thought the same thing when I was posting, and I was like, you know what? Universe, do what you need to do. And it did what it needed to do. So yeah.
Sorry, I had my mic muted. That's so cool that your mom took you out of school to do yoga. And yeah, and really awesome that she brought you up with the concept of the law of attraction. And I feel like the law of attraction is something that's a little bit misunderstood by people. Like, they just think, oh, if you think about what you want and never have negative thoughts, you know, you always get everything you want. And if something bad happens to you, it's because you had bad thoughts or something. And it's just like oversimplified. But I feel like what I've gotten out of it is this idea that you kind of already have a lot of what you desire. Like, if there's something that you want, like, you can notice where you're having that experience in your life already, and really meditating on what that feels like to receive it, and getting yourself literally into that frequency of what your desire is. And just from my own personal experience, that's been life-changing for me, is spending time in the frequency that I want to be in, and really appreciating the present, and appreciating that I already have almost everything that I already have everything that I want. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when you really think about it, and it can make you cry. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. Like, I'm like, everything is always working out for me. And something about law of attraction, like, I think it's something that is really good to teach children, is like getting them to notice like what's already there, and really having them embody what gratitude feels like. You know, like, you always tell kids, like, when you give them something and they don't say thank you, they're like, you say, what do you say? And like, it's sort of like this shame around it or something.
Like this automatic response.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's an automatic response, and you're not really feeling into the gratitude of receiving something. So I feel
like frequency, because gratitude is a frequency, and it's the highest frequency. And I think that's what's missing a lot of the times from the law of attraction, when people explain it, that when you're grateful and you are connected to true gratitude, in the sense of really feeling it in your body, you know, how lucky you are to be where you are, and enjoying the present, and being mindful of everything that's happening, whether it be bad or good. It really is life-changing, and it really will bring upon more things. Because that frequency in itself is going to attract that. It's going to attract things, and that to keep increasing that gratitude. And people feel that. People feel the energy. People know when you are connected to that area. And it's like, whatever people do to you when you are in that space, it's not personal. It's just what everybody's experiencing.
it's so true. It's such good advice. I hope that Rob is taking notes for his daughter too.
I was going to say that.
And we're getting comments in the chat that they're loving this wholesome content.
Get the solace. Yes.
Gosh, I have so many questions, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know which one I want to ask first. Do you have any advice for other artists that are new to the NFT space?
Just keep going. Like, just keep going. Don't get discouraged. I was so discouraged when I didn't sell my first piece. And I was like, because I was very broke. Like, I had spent my last $100 to mint it. And I was so hurt that it didn't sell, and blah, blah, blah. But I'm really thankful that I was able to be on Twitter, because you see so many amazing testimonies. You see so many people that are going through the same thing that you're going through. And you just got to keep working, and there's hope. You have to keep investing in yourself. In any traditional business, let's say it usually takes 5 years to get returns. So it's good to think about things that way, to know that to know that, to have faith in yourself and keep getting better. I think this new NFT that I minted is way better than the first one. And I was motivated to create that because I didn't sell my first one. And it was like, okay, what else can I try? Let me go out of my comfort zone. What can I really explore? And I think if we look at things that way, instead of getting obsessed with with not getting the result that we originally wanted, not only as artists do we grow, but as people. And I think that's worth so much more than money. I know that that's a very privileged thing to say. But when you have that mentality, you can create and generate so much more, not only in money, but with people and with your art, which I think is really what we all want at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's so true. And, I feel like, we're calling back to how you said your first NFT came about. That was something that you had that footage from a while ago. And I feel like the difference is this piece was inspired by something that happened now and that you felt so strongly about. So
Mhm.
I already like feel the difference in the vibe behind this, and I'm sure it's going to sell, like, for sure. And even if it doesn't, like, this message is really important, and I'm really glad that you're here with us in our community, and they get to see it firsthand. And yeah, and I think that's also something that's good for new to NFT artists is if you're creating from the heart and you just keep going, like it's all going to fall into place, and you'll find your people.
Yes, and the most amazing, another amazing thing about this community, I keep saying it's the most amazing thing. Obviously, I can't make up my mind, but another amazing thing about this community,
All amazing.
yes, is that you get to explore, and you're not worried about. Well, I'm mostly a music, like a recording artist, right? So I'm always thinking about, okay, like how's my brand gonna look, and how is this? You know, there's all this other stuff involved when you're promoting to Instagram or, you know, other spaces, right? Where this is not, it's not that. You have this freedom to try new things. Like Coco Mamba just minted some stuff a few weeks ago, the art for sale pieces, where she, and I loved it. When she was sending it to me before she posted them, and they were so different from the other art that she has done. But since I know her personally, I've known her for a really long time, like since I was 11. So I know her personally, and I saw other parts of her in these new NFTs. And that to me was really cool, because it's like, maybe I would have never seen that if this space wasn't available. And all of us have so many different parts of us and so many different things to give. So explore that. If you have the privilege to mint and keep exploring, you know, do it. Save up or make a bunch of crazy things and then mint the stuff that you feel that is the best. And because at the end of the day, like this art, a lot of the times we focus on like getting famous or getting a lot of money, and that's cool. I'm not discrediting that, but it's like the reason we all got into art is because we have fun doing it. We love doing it. I think artists, I think all of us are born with this creative way of seeing things. And I think all humans have access to this space, but to be able to identify with this space and create. Sometimes I personally have gotten caught up so much in oh, are people looking at my shit or blah 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 blah. And at the end of the day, it's like, how do I feel when I make this? Am I proud of this? Am I proud of what I'm putting out? Was this fun? You know, because that's really that's the moment that you're living. So this space can really offer that when you stop focusing on what's going to happen next. Yeah.
And getting back to this idea of frequency, like if you're in the frequency of like, oh, I have to make money, and it's especially hard, like, you know, if you're underprivileged and you really, really actually need money for the basics, like it's hard to get out of that frequency when you're so worried about the day-to-day.
Yes.
But if you can find moments while you're creating to actually have fun while you're creating and be in that frequency of curiosity and play, at least while you're creating, I think that changes a lot of what happens for people too. Because if you're actually in the process of creating and have a lot of negative things going on in your mind, like this isn't going to work, are people going to like it, and you're not having fun doing it, and like, then what's the point?
Exactly. My spiritual leader and demigod Oprah always says that that you have to do stuff and let it go. You have to do things and let it go. She's very Christian, so she's like, you know, let it go, let God work through that. But it's like, it's really the truth, because when you are obsessing over something, when you are obsessed with something not working out, that's what you're going to create in your life. I mean, you can believe in nothing, but what you see is what you get. What you're thinking about constantly is what you're seeing in your world. So when you let it go, you have faith, you don't take it personal. I think the results are incredible, and the happiness, which is what's most important. That's the reason we all want money, right? The happiness, the comfortability. I think that's that's going to be fulfilled. And that's what, you know, we're trying to get to.
It's so well said. And that's great advice for any artist, like whether they're new to NFTs or don't even fuck with NFTs for whatever reason. Like it's, and also just remembering that like we all are creative. We all are artists.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people go around saying like, oh, like if you compliment something they do, they're like, oh, I'm not an artist, or like, oh, shucks. And it's like, we're all human beings. We all were born with this innate creativity, and we go to school, and I think, you know, they teach us, you know, history in quotes, and like how you're supposed to behave, and shame you when you do express yourself. So you start to lose some of that as you get older. And I don't know, that's what I really love about this space, like coming full circle to what we started talking about in the beginning, is there's something very free about this space because it values authenticity, it values rarity, and it values something novel. And yeah, I said authenticity already. It's not something that's valued in a lot of traditional spaces. So it's just really refreshing.
And it's so cool to be part of something new, like a movement. Like, you know, in a few years, people are going to be talking about this in a different way. Like, what an opportunity I feel it is to be part of history, to be part of, especially something that is so pro artist in this world that is so not. It's like, it's incredible, and nothing is perfect, but it's really cool to be part of this. I can't wait to talk about this in a few years and see how it grows, and see where we all are, and to see the public's perception of it. Like, it's really, you really are making history alongside a bunch of other people, and that's what I think is more, that's what it's about. That's just such a cool experience. You don't get a chance to do that all the time.
Yeah, no, you don't. And I mean, it doesn't feel like it's going to go away either. Like this feels like, like I said, because of the community, those values are still going to be upheld, like no matter who comes into the space. Yeah, I was actually curious what you thought. I like to ask people this question, but I have my feelings. I have positive feelings about it, but like, how do you feel about celebrities coming into the NFT space and, you know, dropping NFTs? Some people feel like it's changing the landscape for the artists, and other people feel like it's helpful. I'm in the camp that I think it's helpful, but I'm curious what you think.
I think it's helpful too. I think that it is giving credibility to a space, even though we don't necessarily need the credibility. But there's people that will see this happening because somebody's famous and be more interested in it. And a lot of people that maybe didn't know about it can come in and start minting, or start supporting the community, or start collecting. And I think that we've been taught to be exclusionary, to think that there's never going to be enough for everybody. And I think that's where that fear comes from. So if we can change that and see it as an opportunity to include more people and to include more eyes, I think it really changes how we look at it, and not how we look at it, but the opportunities that you can find within the space when somebody with power and fame comes and adds. Like when Elon Musk minted his piece, I don't know how many people, everybody started talking about NFTs, like on the media. Like I heard it at NPR, and I was like, wow, this is insane. But that adds to the growth of the community, and I think that's more important than anything else.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you know, some people might talk shit and they're like, oh, they're just trying to make stacks on stacks. And it's like, who cares what they're trying to do? Like, it's going to bring so many more people to the space, you know, and having more eyes on all the different artists that are here. You know, not everybody that comes in the space is going to be a whale that has a bunch of ETH to throw down on, you know, like a Beeple or something like that. so it's great that it'll bring more people into the space that'll be able to discover other artists who aren't as known and help bring them up and raise awareness about those artists in the space too. So,
exactly. I agree 100%.
it's super awesome. I really love this space a lot. I really love being part of this community and getting to speak with all these different artists and hear their experience and learn from everybody and connect. It's been really awesome.
I honestly, I admire you so much because you're doing this and you are being a thought leader. So I know I just really want to thank you for what you're doing for the community, for what you're doing for us as artists. And to see you doing this, to see the way that you support. When you said my name in the Coco Mama interview, I was like, what? She knows who I am. Like I was so honored. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us feel the same way. What you guys are doing is so dope and it's so important.
We got to big up Whale Shark for this idea, and Alegria and the whole mod crew. Everybody is so awesome and talented in all these different ways, and such great people who just want the best for this community, want the best for the artists and musicians and creators that we have. Yeah, I'm trying not to get emotional thinking about it. It's just cool. Like a year ago, I wouldn't have had any like concept of a place like this where everything is like this intersection of art and music and tech and community. It's really fucking awesome. I'm really proud to be part of it. I love you guys. I really mean it. It's like, my whole life has changed being part of this, and I can't take credit. It's all Whale Shark, all the rest of the mods and the crew. So thank you so much for being here with us. I wanted to ask you before we go, like, what's next for you? Do you have any upcoming projects or drops that you'd like to know about, aside from this super fresh drop that just happened just now during our chat?
Yes, actually. So I am still making beats, and they're all going to be in that lane of the Dominican rhythms. So I am planning to release another NFT in a few weeks. It's going to be similar to my Passion Girl. It's going to be a lot more things that a little bit more traditional video. But that's coming up next. And I am going to be releasing a bunch of music that I made in Dominican Republic while I was there before the quarantine very soon. It's all going to be in Spanish, but I hope everybody can enjoy it because, if you can feel the rhythm in your bones, you can dance, and yeah, that's what's coming up soon. It'll be all up on my socials, on my little website, and yeah, I'm so excited.
Yes, I can't wait to hear it. Everybody who obviously you didn't get to hear anything during the interview, or else you wouldn't be listening to us, but check out her YouTube. I've put Chinola's links. Oh wait, one more question before we go. Tigbo wants to know, what's your favorite Dominican dish?
That's so hard.
I'm like, tres golpes, I think. I just like
that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, un mango, because I've been pregnant and craving a mango. So I think I'm going to have that for lunch, actually.
Oh my gosh, I want it. I would love it. Yeah, I can't pick my favorite Dominican dish either. I'm not Dominican, my boyfriend's family is, and I can't pick my favorite thing.
So you're part of the family?
Yes.
That's so cool. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Qué chulo. Well, look, I have a definitive answer. My favorite food is la bandera. So I like rice, beans, meat, and some fried ripe plantains. That's hands down.
Yes, but the beans gotta be right.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Chinola. This has been amazing. It was so great talking to you and getting to know you, and we're looking forward to having you back in the future and hearing more about what you're doing. Make sure to catch this on the replay on YouTube if you came late, and we'll see you all next time. Have a magical day.
Bye. Thank you.